Well, in China, authorities are aiming to test nearly 14 million people in the city of Tianjin after 2 cases of the highly transmissible Omicron variant were detected. So far, an additional 18 positive tests have been reported in the northern port city. China has stepped up its zero-tolerance strategy in the run-up to the Winter Olympics, which are due to begin in Beijing next month. The Chinese capital is just 100 kilometres northwest of Tianjin. In other regions of the country, cities have gone into full-scale lockdowns after larger outbreaks. And for more on this story, I'm joined from Beijing by Jonathan Cheng, who is the China Bureau Chief for the Wall Street Journal. Welcome to DW. It doesn't seem like a very dangerous or severe outbreak in Tianjin, yet the city's 14 million residents are being tested. Why are China's leaders so worried about this outbreak?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, obviously, this is not the first time they've rolled out this game plan. They did it just a few weeks ago in Xi'an, a city to, the west of Beijing. And, of course, they did it most famously 2 years ago in Wuhan, the place where we first saw the coronavirus appear. So it's not different in that way. What is different is that we have the Omicron variant of the virus that's appearing here in Tianjin. And what we also have is we have the Beijing Olympics coming up in just 3 weeks. And Tianjin, we should note for anyone not looking at a map right now, it is very close to Beijing. You can get there by high-speed train in something like 25, 30 minutes. So this is very worrying if you're an Olympic organizer.
Just explain to us really what significance these Olympics have for China. Is this mainly about preserving its international reputation?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think the original vision was more than just preserving. I think they wanted to sort of enhance their international reputation. Of course, we saw Beijing hosting the Summer Olympics in 2008 and how important that was for China and its rise and its sort of joining the global community as a world-class player. And I think now you have 14 years later an attempt to consolidate that. Beijing will become the first city to host both the Summer and the Winter Games. And of course, there's a lot of geopolitical, friction in the air, you could say, just between China and the Western world. And I think China just really wants to show that they can pull this off successfully. I think they want to show that they can have a more successful Winter Olympics than the Summer Olympics that just happened last year in Tokyo. That was of course, also disrupted by COVID. But I think they really want to show that their strategy of COVID zero is the right strategy, and a big contrast to the rest of the world and how, COVID has really ripped through a lot of society. That hasn't happened here in China since 2 years ago, and I think they really want that to be the case going through the rest of February and March.
Jonathan Cheng from the Wall Street Journal speaking to us from Beijing. Thank you very much, Jonathan.
Thanks for having me.